beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Because it's only 2 days away. And in Korea, it looks nothing like Christmas. Because in Korea, they don't celebrate shit for Christmas. I guess in the past couple years, there's a couple places where you can kind of go see some lights and festivities. But for the most part, you would never know that Christmas is here, aside from a few Christmas songs that you hear in a few stores, but they don't give a shit. Which is funny because even though it's like Eastern Asia, it's got like higher Christian numbers than in the United States. So, which is really funny, but it's just, traditionally it's not been a big deal because it was mostly a Buddhist nation, and it's a lot Buddhist still, but there are a lot of Christian churches here. So you'd think that Christmas would be important, but it's not. Probably because they don't really believe. Anyway, so today we are going to get back to Reaction Monday, and today we are going to listen to Porcupine Tree. And I was told to listen to Waiting Part 2, and then someone else mentioned like, oh, if you can, listen to Waiting Part 1 and 2. So I preferably like to watch live version, but of course I couldn't find a live version with Waiting 1 and 2 together. It was just one or the other. So I just found like a recording of Waiting 1 and 2 together, and that's what we're going to listen to. So obviously this is when I think Steven Wilson was still in Porcupine Tree. So this is going to be a great kind of connection here that we're going to have him still in Porcupine Tree, and I'm looking forward to listening and hearing another song by Steven Wilson, aka Porcupine Tree. So let's do it.
This is a track from the new album Signify. It's called Waiting.
I guess this is live in Rome version recording, but not video. Already starting out good.
Waiting to be born again.
It's exactly 10 minutes. Am I gonna know when there's like the break between Waiting 1 and Waiting 2? Or is it just gonna be meshed? Ooh, good harmony. Nice bass part. See, that bass sounds good. It's got that like funky sound. Drugs to make it real, huh? Yes. Yeah, I think the commenter said this had like a Pink Floyd vibe or something like that. It definitely does have like that vibe. I like it. Waiting for the drug to kick in. I like the guitar. Soulful solo. It's a soulful solo. Melody driven. Waiting. Ooh, I like that. Discipline. Like the, see, the singing there versus the carrying it is better. I guess it's so good. When I will fall. Nice. This would be like a good driving cross-country song at night, not during the day, at night. Yes. And does that mean part one's over? I think so. I guess this is part two. Is the waiting over? Is it gonna turn into something else? Nice congas. It's very tribal. It's almost like Native American feel. Like I feel like I should be in a teepee with some peyote. I could totally see like purple lights and like just like this ambiance of drug-induced relaxation. It's interesting now, this being another Porcupine Tree song, even though it's Stephen Wilson's in it, it's definitely different than, I wouldn't call this progressive, this song, and then the last song was much more funky than this. So I haven't heard, I mean, Anesthetized is pretty, I think, progressive, but I've already heard that, so I can't really react to that. But, I mean, so far I would label these guys, from the songs I've heard, not as so progressive. They're definitely on the Yes to Genesis side. And I love it. I have a friend named Scott that really likes Fish. I could see him really liking this song. He likes Pink Floyd too. Roger Waters. I could just see my friend Scott just like sitting there going, feeling it. Right, Scott? that splash sounds really tight and good. I like that high. I like this building. I like that. Nice. There's some rolling on the scale. Like this jungle groove that he's got in the background on the drums. Nice. 2 thumbs up, baby. 2 thumbs up. I mean, it's crazy because for such a long time, we had a long stint of me doing reactions to, like, Between the Buried Me, of course, Opeth, even Devin Townsend, where, like, it was pretty heavy for quite a long time. And because people were listening to my reactions and then giving suggestions based off my reactions, we've now had this, like, week or two of nice melodic songs. And I love it because I asked for it, and that's great because I feel like people were kind of listening and giving me like good suggestions for both sides of the spectrum that I like. I like heavy, but I don't like only heavy. I like melodic and easy kind of chill based music, but I don't only like that. I like when you have both and you have a mixture of all of that in between. So I feel like this song was definitely on the melodic side, not on the heavy, obviously, or progressive, like, technical side. But I loved it. I felt like this was like I mentioned in the reaction, like this is a song that I would love, especially at nighttime. I used to drive from Columbus, Ohio, but I went to school in this small little town called Winona Lake, Indiana, which is about 40 miles west of Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I had to drive from Columbus to my school quite a bit, and that was like a 3 hour, about a three and a half hour trip. This song would be perfect for that kind of trip. I would just pop in Gary Hoey, if you guys all know Gary Hoey, which I think he's one of the most underrated guitarists. I never see him on the list of amazing guitarists, but Gary Hoey's solo albums are great. Hocus Pocus is freaking sweet. I would turn him on. I turned James Taylor on. This song would fit perfectly in that kind of road trip for 3.5 hours. So I'm totally liking this. Steven Wilson, yet again, has made me like him more. I don't know if he's like the main contributor, even though he was like in Porcupine Tree. I'm guessing he was probably like the lead in writing. It's kind of like Richie and the Winery Dogs, which is Portnoy's side band. Richie Kotzkin is like, even though it's the Winery Dogs and you have great players like Billy Sheehan and Mike Portnoy as the band, it's mostly Richie Kotzkin's music, because every time you hear Richie Kotzkin in any other band, it sounds like this kind of music. So I feel like maybe Steven Wilson is probably the same way, no matter what group he's in or who his backup players are, and in this case Porcupine Tree, he's probably the one who's writing most of the music. Which, by the way, Winery Dogs, freaking awesome straight rock music. It's probably the only main side project Portnoy's done that I really have liked. I actually saw them when they came to Seoul about 3.5 years ago. The other stuff, Flying Colors, is but so far everything Steven Wilson's put out, again, I'm only 3 or 4 songs in, is pretty sweet. So 2 thumbs up, and I can't wait to hear more. Keep suggesting. It can be both progressive as well as melodic as well as heavy. I like all of it, but this is like a nice change in between. So as always, like and subscribe and stick around for more. We got something new coming up next.